Welcome to another episode of Wisdomization. I am the Wisdomizer, and this is the primordial wave. I am going to make this episode as brief, as quick as possible. I wouldn't like to prolong it more than necessary. So if possible, I'll make it less than 30 minutes, if possible. So I am going to decipher, I'm going to decode encrypted message at the back of a US dollar bill, at the back of US $1 bill, there are coded messages there from the secret society. And understanding this coded information is very important in understanding and deciphering who is in charge of this planet. Because if you look at people going around, getting married, going to churches, entering airplanes, traveling around the world, you think they are free to do what they want to do. But until you understand that every aspect of life, is highly controlled and monitored. From going to school, elementary school, what you studied is highly regulated and controlled. And the outcome of it is a collective singular consciousness, what I may call cognitive singularity, where people behave based on programmed mass thinking, where individual thinking is seen as not being in sync with mainstream knowledge, with mainstream reasoning process. And anyone who tends to think outside the box is seen by the system as a dysfunction in the system, and the system will try to fix you. Sometimes if they cannot fix you, they kill you. They take you out because they don't want you to know. And knowing is a threat to the power that be. Knowing knowledge is a threat to the status, the power that be, the controllers of this planet. And there is no gainsaying the fact that every narrative on this physical plane of matter, this society we live in, or societies we live in, every narrative, be it political narrative, be it educational narrative, be it economic narrative, be it political narrative, be it the initiation of wars and who controls the outcome of wars, are being monitored and engineered from somewhere. And if you don't understand the hidden hand that controls, that governs, that rules, that dominates, you are not going to know a lot of things, right? Many people will not know that if you've gone to school from elementary school to the university, the courses you study are highly programmed mainstream knowledge, where they cognitively create a uniformed mass consciousness. And if you tend to deviate from the quote unquote norm, if you deviate from the mainstream thinking, from mass cognitive process, the system sees you as computer error. You are an error, and the system will try to fix you. And as I say, if they can't fix you, they kill you, right? So I am going to share a screen and my slide. That I said, I'll try to make this very brief. I try to make this as quick, as brief as possible. So let me share my screen. And this is the topic that we are discussing today, secret society symbol, and particularly the symbol at the back of a dollar bill. We're not going to talk about every single symbol on it. We're just going to pick few things. We talk about this number here. See this number, MDCCLXX VI. So This is a code, a cipher, encryptograph. It's encrypted there. Everything that you see here is not by accident. They did not put this number for aesthetic beauty. No, they're telling you who they are, who is in charge, who is watching everyone. The all-seeing eye, the all-seeing eye of those who reside in the shadow and control every outcome, control every process as well as every outcome, right? Let's proceed. Now, this says in Latin, annuit septis, annuit septis. He or she accepts our work. She accepts. Who accepts their work? And what work are they talking about? Talking of Novus Ordo Secularum, the new order of the ages, or a new world order, a new world order, right? So let's not get distracted. Let's try to decipher this code here. As we say, these are Roman numerals, but because if you look at this, it's very tiny. I've decided to write them out clearly. So every number you see here is represented here. M, D, C, C, L, X, X, V, I. And I've created like a color scheme to help us just for visual representation to help us to understand, grasp quickly what I'm trying to decode here. Trying to decode this symbol of the secret society and what they're telling, what they're saying here. Okay. So as I said, I've created different number schemes. We've broken this number into 3 different groups represented by red, the group in red, the group in purple, and the group of numbers in green. So the first group of number here, we've broken down to MDC. See, we've broken this number, and we just created this to help us, as I say, to understand, to kind of for a quick grasp. So the first 3 numbers are here, MDC. Second, on the purple, CLX. The third is XVI. And these are the numbers here that we've chosen and broken into 3 different categories to be able to break down this code, this secret society code, and what they are trying to communicate. Now, we know that in Roman numeral, words like this in English should be alphabet, but in Roman numeral, they represent numbers as well. So M is 1000, D represents 500, and C represents 100, right? Now, C represents 100, L represents 500, 50, and X represents 10. Now, X, this should be, yes, X represent 10 here, and then V represent what? 5, and I represent a single digit, single unit of number, a single digit, 1, right? So all these things encoded here has to do with add this number. Let's leave this one at the top first. Just leave it behind first. Let's add these ones right here. Add them, come up with a number. See how they encoded the number 666 here in the pyramid. D plus C, 500 plus 100 will give you 600. L plus X, 50 plus 10 will give you what? 60. And then V plus I, 5 plus 1 will give you 6. So already you've gotten the number of the beast, 666 or 666. You get it? Watch it again and then to follow exactly how to decipher this code, 666, which we know in the Bible there's a chemical way that the Bible spoke about this number, which I believe a lot of people misunderstand, right? But this number is very important to these people who are in the shadows, the hidden hand people, right? It's very important to them. So you've seen that what this number DCLXVR, if you add them, it gives you the number 666, the number of the beast, right? Okay, 666, 666. And this is also the number of man, but I don't want to get us distracted. So let's move forward. Now, again, we try to break it down further. As we said, D is 500, C is 100, M is 1000, L is 50, X is 10, C is 100, V is 5, I is 1, and X is 10. So let's add this number up again, and then we're going to add these other ones we left before. Okay? We're going to add these ones, and then we're going to come out with this number. See, we've added these 500 plus 100 will give you 600. L plus X, 50 plus 10 will give you 60, and 1 plus 6, of course, is 6. So we get the number 666. Again, as I say, the number of the beast, or the number of man, right? Okay. Now, if you add this, you get 666, and add this one up, the ones we left behind before. 1000 plus 100 plus 10 will give you 1110. If you add this number up, 666 plus 1110, you get 1776. This number is this is a date some years back, 1776. What happened in 1776? That is very important to secret society. Okay, something happened that is very important. It was the year that this man, Adam Weishaupt, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Adam Weishaupt founded the Bavarian Illuminati Secret Society. This is Illuminati, not Illuminati. The Bavarian Illuminati Secret Society, top-notch controller of all things, right? Many things, the secret rulers of the planet, right? That was the year they encoded there. But this number, again, is very important to, not just has to do with the year that this was a Jesuit canon law professor. If you're a Catholic, you'll be familiar with the Jesuits. So this guy was a Jesuit canon law professor who founded the secret society of global dominance and world control of the elites, right? So in numerology, by the way, anyone who asks you not to study numerology because they're trying to control you, because if you study numerology and astrology, study everything. Don't allow people to ask you not to study, because if you don't, you're not going to know many things. So in numerology, let's break this number down. Okay, 1776, because people who encode these letters and words and numbers like this understood, as Pythagoras said. Pythagoras was an initiate in the ancient Egyptian mystery school. So there are things he knew. And he said everything is number. Numbers are vibration. And I may not have time to explain what this means, but numbers are vibration, and numbers can synchronize. They can be in sync, even with your soul, right? So it's not just, you're not just looking at a number. They do something to this reality. numbers are um, kind of operate in terms of vibration, alignment with certain things, right? Numbers are very important to these people because they understood how to utilize number for control, right? Because they possess certain knowledge, advanced knowledge that ordinary people don't have, right? So if you break 1776 down, you're going to come out with 21. In the Bible, 21 is the number of the challenger of God. Again, I need you to go beyond just number because numbers are vibration. Numbers are vibration. You can control things, can control people with numbers, right? So they understood that. They understood that. So if we add this up, it comes with the number of 21. Many people will tell you is also this number is the number of Satan, right? Okay. And then if you break down this 21 down, 2 plus 1 will give you 3. And number 3 is very important to the secret societies. Is the number of the Trinity. It is the number, for example, of different Masonic degrees. The Masonic has, I think, 3 primary degrees, right? Which you can do further research on that. As I say, I'll try to break this down. But number 3 is very important in terms of this physical dimension, this physical reality. We all have it: body, mind, and soul, the Trinity, Father, Son, and the child. Father, mother, and the child. It is a very crucial number, which is encoded here when you start breaking it down. Now, you can also see an anagram of Freemason, Mason, right? An anagram, nothing is by chance, nothing is by accident. Everything is coded. You can't just see it because you don't know how to identify them. You see, coded here is Mason, 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 Nuit Septis, Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages, initiating a new order of the ages, a new world order, new world system, right? There's a place they are teleguiding everyone. They are directing the movement of history, the social movement of consciousness. They're building the great temple. The great temple has to do with this world, this physical world, including engineering everybody towards a particular destination, teleological destination. And we know that the powers that be are in alignment with Saturn. Saturn is a dark sun. It's a dark sun. I think it's about 9 times the size of our planet, if not more. 9 times the size of this planet, which is huge. I have to understand when they say the planet Saturn, they're talking of a gateway to certain dimension, a gateway to certain realm. So we're talking of energy alignment. So people who we are coding those information are in alignment with the Dark Lord, if you like, Satan, right? So it's more of Saturnalian worship. And if you look at here, I'll show you a better picture later on. You're going to see there's a hexagram here. And all the 6-pointed star you see anywhere on this planet came as a result of the worship as well as energy alignment with the Dark Lord that resides within this hemisphere. Dark Lord, Satan, El, name them, right? The master of time that controls this physical dimension, right? This is the symbol of the planet Saturn. This is the symbol of communism as well. Symbol of communism as well, because such systems that tend to shed lots of blood and rigidly control humanity, of course, is coming from the Lord of the control. The Lord of the control, Saturn or Satan, or the entity, whatever who dwells within that realm, right? When I say the planet Saturn, let me go back. Don't just look at the planet. Talking of energy, energy. Because when we talk about it as human beings, we use anthropomorphic, we use words we understand. But this realm is an energy center of certain existence, of certain entities, right? Certain advanced beings or advanced being, right? Non-human energy form. So most of the all this powder be, if you decipher their symbol, and their symbols are all over the place, including the United Nations symbol, is a symbol of Saturn, right? The Saturnalian worship are all over the place. The dark rulers of this planet are in alignment with whatever creature, whatever entity, whatever energy formula that resides here. So, as I say, this is the symbol of the god Saturn. Saturn is Satan, right? Now, at the South Pole, we see the all-seeing eyes. Even though a lot of people have said that these all-seeing eyes came from the Eye of Horus, which they plagiarized from ancient Africa, ancient Egypt. There's also a very likelihood that this has to do with the southern hemisphere of the planet Saturn. The southern hemisphere is an energy center. It's like, that looks like the eyes, somebody's eyes, look like somebody's eyes. So everything goes back to alignment to the planet Saturn, or the worship of the Dark Lord or the Dark Master, right? The all-seeing eyes of the Illuminati has the exact resemblance to the southern pole of the planet Saturn. You're familiar with the symbolism is all over the place, and they're telling you who is in charge of all the cities. If you see watches all over the place, especially in the Western world, in buildings, you see watches all over the place. They are telling you that because Saturn is Satan, they're telling you who is in charge of the physical dimension, who is in charge of these city establishments. They're not putting this because people don't have wristwatch. They don't know where they can't afford to wear wristwatch. They want to look at cities, streets, lamps, and city buildings to be able to tell what time it is. No, has nothing to do with it. And most of the time in ancient paintings, you see that the god Saturn is drawn as a man with long beard. It's drawn as a man with long beard and standing beside time, pointing at the time, is the controller. This entity is the controller of this physical dimension. Some other places you see the exact wearing hood, and some other places you see him again carrying the time sand, because he is the controller of this physical realm. He's the one who places restrictions and limitations on this physical realm. You're born and you get old and you die. Ordinarily, the souls are infinite. The souls are endless. The souls are eternal. They don't die. But when you incarnate in this physical world, you are subjected to the law of time. That's what they're telling you. And who is the master of time? Who is the Lord of time? It's the Lord of the Ring. The Lord of the Ring, and they make movies all the time telling you some of these things, but sometimes you're too thrilled with entertainment to decipher what you've been told. So if you go to cities, you're going to see watches here, because they're telling you the Lord of the Ring is, this city is dedicated to the Lord of time, the Lord of time. So the watches you see here is just telling you where Saturn is, the city of Saturn, because many religious traditions, including the three major religions of the world, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and I wouldn't go into that now, are all forms of Saturnalian worship. Saturnalian worship. The Bible, the Torah, we see that we read that Elohim or El asked people to worship him on Sabbath. What is Sabbath? Sabbath has to do with Saturn, right? Let's go back and view that planet again. Sabbath has to do with Saturn, right? The god El, where you get Elohim, right? That to do with Saturn, because in ancient, in Hebrew language, Saturn is called what? Shabbatai. Shabbatai, from where you get Shabbat or Sabbath, right? When this same worship tradition penetrated Rome, we see that Saturnalianism or the worship of the god Saturn become very prominent. And they even called Saturday, because Saturday means Saturn's day, the day dedicated to the worship of whatever lives within this realm. You know, they say this is like a gateway. This is a gateway. Don't just see a piece of rock floating on. You don't get it. I'm not talking of just a piece of rock floating the space, right? So the concept of Saturday is Saturn's day or Satan's day, a day dedicated to the worship of Saturn or Satan, right? That's what Saturday means. And as I said, many religious traditions, including the three major religions of the world, are all in energy alignment to the planet Saturn. That is why you see the Pope wearing a skull cap. You see a Jewish rabbi wearing a skull cap, and you see Muslim Islamic imam wearing a skull cap. There's a reason to that. That again is in energy alignment to the planet Saturn, right? Let's continue. Next. Okay, so wherever you see watches on the walls, on city halls, on public properties, government buildings, these people who build these things on the street are more esoteric than you ever want to believe. They understood. They are in the know. They understood what they are doing. It's not by accident. They are telling you the Lord of time is here. The city is under the subject of Saturn, right? Saturnalian energy alignment. The watch represents the god El, or the god Kronos. Kronos is the same as El, and El is the same God that a lot of people worship as the true God. But in essence, is a lower realm that has claimed to be the God and placed restriction on mankind, placed limitation on your knowledge. So again, in the North Pole of the planet Saturn, we see the hexagram. That is where this six-pointed star, the idea of the six-pointed star, it also has to do with the Saturnalian worship, you know. So you see the six-pointed star is called the hexagram. The hexagram at the North Pole of the planet Saturn. As I say, these are vortex of energy. These are vortex gateways, if you want, or the stargates. Stargates. This is not just a piece of. I'm not talking of piece of rock floating on the space. Ancient people knew what they were saying when they say Kronos is the god of time. They knew what they were saying, and in certain secret societies, these are the kind of knowledge they kind of hide from people, but then they still make people to worship these dark lords, dark energies, not knowing what they are doing. right? Six-pointed star is, whenever I see this symbol here, it has nothing to do with any religion. It has to do with Saturnalian worship, the worship of Satan, or Saturn, or the god El. Even in the Israeli flag, you see that the Zionists, again, telling the world deceptively, of course, that this has to do with the Star of David. No, David doesn't have any star. It's the energy alignment to the planet Saturn. There's no other place. If you do your research very well, there's no other place this came from. Is the energy alignment to the North Pole of the planet Saturn, a gateway to a different dimension. And in histories, in cultures, in religion, you see this is Roman Saturn, the Roman god Saturn. And the Roman god Saturn is the same as the god El in the Canaanite region. They're all the same. You don't just know they're the same. So in Greek is the god Kronos. And if you watch these modern movies they are making on these days, you see the same entity. One is this entity are all one, just morphing in different historical contexts and being interpreted differently by different people. So this is Roman god depicted, of course, anthropomorphically. So don't be caught up with depicting them as humans. No, don't be caught up with that, because that they're doing anthropomorphism. They are representing some advanced concepts using human terminology and presenting them in ways that human will understand. And that is what you call anthropomorphism in theology. So this is the god, we've been talking about Saturn in Rome. A lot of things they did in Rome, but the worship of Saturnalia, including the creation of what he calls Saturday, where people worship the god of the Shabbat or the Sabbath. So when you read the Bible that God was asking people to worship him on Sabbath, you're talking of Shabbatai, because in Greek language, Shabbatai is the planet Saturn. So Saturday is because whoever God manifested was actually the god El, from where you get Elohim. This is El, Canaanite god. And we have to remember that even before the Jews, the Jewish people supposedly went from Egypt to Canaanite, to land of Canaan. They were indigenous Canaanites there who worshipped the god El, right? And then is that by accident that the Jewish people called their god Elohim, from El, right? So in Greek, he was known as the Kronos, the god who eats his children. And as I say, in pop culture, in modern pop culture, when you watch movies and you see this creature here wearing hood with long stick, sickle, you know they're talking of the same Satan, right? Is the same Santa Claus. Santa Claus, which Christians all over the world ignorantly think is somebody that came from quote unquote God and is coming from the North Pole. Of course, when they say North Pole, I showed you the North Pole where hexagram is. And when I say hexagram, I'm talking of the energy vortex, the energy vortices, the energy vortex. That's what I'm saying. It's a gateway. So when they are making reference, and this is maybe artist description, depiction of Satan. So all these entities are talking of one thing. They're one creature. They're one energy form. They're saying. So in Christmas time, Christians and born again people are putting Santa Claus. They're not knowing that this has to do with Satan. Satan. The deception is deep. The deception is deep, right? So hopefully I did it in a few minutes time. Please subscribe to my channel. This is the Primordial Wave and I am the Wisdomizer. Next time we try to expand more on the worship of Satan, different religions of the world, particularly major three major religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, right? We will try to expand next time to discuss how this worship, how this energy alignment is very, very real on this planet. That many things we do, we think is innocent are not actually innocent. They are recognition of this dark master who live within this planetary sphere, right? Including the ring that people put in their hands when they get married. You know, is in is in energy alignment to the planet Saturn. Is a union, literally a union with the god El, right? That's why in the Western society they put rings when they get married. It's a union, it's a covenant, because the god Saturn or Kronos, Saturn is called the Lord of the Ring, the Lord of the Ring. Right? All right, please subscribe to my channel and watch out for more videos. I am the Wisdomizer, and this is the Primordial Wave. Have a nice day.